Hey fans, let's work out the answer to this question. Pause the video and have a go first. This is to do with tangents to circles and areas of shapes. Right, so let's review what we're looking at. So we've been told that here is a circle with the equation given. So the first thing you can work out easily here is that the radius is equal to root 100, which is 10. The tangent at point P86 cuts the x-axis at A. So there's the point where the tangent and the radius meet. So we know that's going to be a right angle. And we know that that point A is where it meets. At this point A, we know that there's going to be some x value, but the y value is going to be 0. So that might be important later. And then we're told to work out the area of OPA. So OPA, this is the triangle that we need to work out the area of. Now we know to work out the area of a triangle is equal to half times the base length times h with a small p, that's perpendicular height. So in this case, if we draw this triangle out here, this is the height, has to be perpendicular. So it's a right angle. Now luckily the coordinates here is quite convenient. So we go 8 along, 6 up. So that's basically telling us that that's 6 units. So we can just substitute these first two values. Half times b is we don't know yet. So just leave it blank. Height is 6. So we need to work out this base length, which is this length here. So in other words, the x coordinate, the x part of the coordinate pair. So in order to do that, we need the equation of this line, and then we're going to set y equal to 0 to work out what x is. To work out the equation of the line, we're going to need to work out the gradient, because we already have a coordinate, and we can use our formula for that. So the gradient of this radius here, so m, and the small subscript r means the gradient of the radius is equal to change in y over change in x, which is equal to, so the y changing is 6 and the x is 8. So it's 6 over 8, which simplifies to 3 over 4. M, the gradient of the tangent, so I'm going to put mt, so that's this blue line here, is going to be the negative reciprocal of that. So that becomes negative 4/3. So that's now the gradient of this blue tangent. So we now have, for the tangent, a coordinate and the gradient of that line. So we can use our formula. Let's set, so y minus y1 equals m brackets x minus x1. The gradient is, well, let's start with, that's x1 and y1. So y minus 6 equals negative 4/3 brackets x minus 8. So we're going to expand this all out. So we are going to get, so y minus 6 equals negative 4/3 x plus 8 times negative 4/3, negative 8 times negative 4/3, which is 32 over 3. And then we're going to add 6 to both sides. So that gives us y equals negative 4/3 x plus, this is going to be 50 over 3. So we now have the equation of this blue tangent. That's the equation of this line here. It makes sense that the gradient is negative, and it makes sense that the y-intercept here is 50 over 3. So let's just label that. We don't need to do that, but just for giggles we can. So now we need to work out this coordinate here. And that's going to be easy because we're just going to use this formula that we already have, and we're going to set y equal to 0. So 0 equals negative 4/3 x plus 50 over 3. I'm going to take away 50 over 3 from both sides. So negative 50 over 3 equals negative 4/3 x, times both sides by -1, times both sides by 3, divide both sides by 4, and then you're going to get 50 over 4 is equal to x. Now 50 divided by 2 is 25, 25 divided by 2 is 12.5, so x is equal to 12.5. So that's the coordinate of A, so it's 12.5, 0. Now we have that coordinate, so we can put this back into this formula for area of a triangle. So we're going to replace this with 12.5, and then you can just half times 6, which is 3, and then 3 times 12.5 is going to give you your answer, which is 37.5. So the area of the triangle equals half times 12.5 times 6, which is 37.5. And in this case, we're just going to call it units squared. Okay, if that was useful, smash a like button, hit subscribe.